Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure for me to welcome you to the launch of MENA Aid. May I extend a special welcome to those of you who may be visiting the House of Lords for the first time. This house is steeped in a great deal of history, and one never loses sight of the majesty and grandeur that surrounds us. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we live in troubled and turbulent times. There are severe problems in many different parts of the world, but especially in the Middle East and North Africa region, where MENA Aid, I understand, will focus their activities. There are problems relating to poverty, war, natural disasters, murder, starvation, and homelessness. People's way of life in their own countries are being threatened, and their livelihood is lost. These circumstances present us with a number of challenges and responsibilities. We must do all we can to bring stability to these regions, to implement the rule of law, and help people build their lives. Many people from these regions want to emigrate to the West, and they are now traveling across the Mediterranean in very dangerous circumstances. They are putting their lives at risk, as well as the lives of their families. They are being cheated, conned by the smugglers who exploit them. Some, unfortunately, have lost their lives. Even when they arrive in Europe, they are often shifted from pillar to post, and they are not being welcomed in certain quarters. Many of these people are living in a constant state of limbo. In addition to refugees coming to Europe, of course, there are also considerable number of refugees in Jordan, Lebanon, and Turkey. And I'll talk about these countries later on. So let's also bear in mind that apart from Europe, you've got countries like Turkey, Lebanon, and Jordan, where the refugees are unfortunately stranded and where they are at the moment living in bad conditions. I, ladies and gentlemen, care about humanitarian issues. I have my own foundation, and I do all I can to help people who are in need of help. I care about the welfare of women. I care about the welfare of children. And I've been very much disturbed by how women and children and other refugees are being treated and how they are suffering and have suffered. Some experience physical and sexual abuse, and they are living like cattle in cramped conditions with very little food and poor sanitation. Although it is accepted that a considerable number of these peoples are genuine refugees, but we must also bear in mind that a number of these people are in fact economic migrants, and they are looking to better themselves by going to other countries. A number who would like to come to the United Kingdom are stranded in Calais, and they are putting their lives at risk by attempting to cross the channel by whatever means they can. In fact, the place they were unfortunately called the jungle. and I've done some work in this place, and I'll talk about it later on. Ladies and gentlemen, we, United Kingdom, have agreed to take 200,000 genuine refugees, and this is a commitment which I do applaud, but I feel that the number should be higher. We also discussed in the House of Lords with regard to taking children who are unaccompanied, and an agreement has been reached that we will also take the unaccompanied children. So when these refugees come to the United Kingdom, we hope that we can provide them with adequate housing, education, facilities, medical care, and find them jobs. Now we must appreciate that refugees put enormous pressure on social services. Issues like housing, education, and healthcare are indeed affected. These issues can cause problems and lead to racial confrontation, so we must confront them and discuss them openly and honestly. Ultimately, we must seek to improve the conditions and opportunities in people's home countries in order to reduce the need and desire to emigrate, and I think what is one of the aims of MENA 8. I have no doubt that many refugees would rather stay in their home places with family and familiar circumstances if they are able to do so. Where this is not possible, we have a duty to help them settle wherever they go, whether in Lebanon or Jordan or Turkey or coming to Europe. We must provide facilities and care for them and help them to work and become financially independent. They must stand on their own feet. You can't be feeding them all the time. We must provide environment. We must provide facilities so they can work. I recently had a meeting with the ambassador of Jordan, only about 2 weeks ago, and I actually led a delegation to Jordan, and we went there with my friend Lord Hussein, and we visited the camp where over 100,000 refugees were being housed. Now, Jordan is a country of about 6 million people, and there are over 1.3 million refugees in Jordan. Very, very high number. And we are doing all we can to provide support. And the Jordanian ambassador said, we want to provide jobs for them. We want to help them. We want to help them settle in this country. And in countries like Turkey, I think Turkey has taken nearly 3 million refugees. Lebanon has taken over 1 million refugees. In fact, the chief executive organization who is doing work in Lebanon came to see me only about 3 weeks ago, and I decided to help him in whatever way I can. Now, obviously, I'd like to commend this government's attitude of spending 0.7% of our gross national income on international aid. In fact, we have the highest spend on humanitarian aid in the world. Now, I hope that the work MENA 8 is proposing to do, I commend you, I applaud you on this initiative, because if we are in a position to help others, we must do so. God has blessed us with resources. We must use these resources, not on ourselves, but also to help other people. Now, I understand that your strategy focuses on 5 main aspects. 1, alleviating poverty. 2, empowering women. 3, helping refugees. 4, creating sustainable economic opportunity for young, and educating on the matter of illegal immigration. So, absolutely very good idea, because you're thinking of a comprehensive plan. You want to do this, do this, do this, do this. Absolutely. So it's a holistic approach rather than concentrating on any one issue. Now, I think there are three ways what we think about helping people: helping them in their own countries, helping when they arrive in other countries, and with regard to people who go to other countries, we have to provide them emergency aid. But importantly, we also have got to help them so they can stand on their own feet. There's a saying in English: you give somebody fish for one day, you feed him for a day. You teach him how to fish, you'll feed him for the rest of his life. And it's important we train the young. And I was so pleased to see here helping the young, helping the women, looking after women. Very, very important. Now, I wish you well. I'm very pleased that you're launching this initiative. You will certainly get my help in every way I can. Thank you very much indeed.